Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and today we'll be doing your weekly tarot predictions for all the signs. So it doesn't really matter, if it's your sun, moon, rising, whatever resonates, that's what you embrace, and whatever doesn't, that is what you ignore. So we're going to be doing our tarot predictions, tarot forecast for the week of December 22nd all the way through December 28th. So this is Christmas week. So it's going to be interesting as it relates to energy, because I am picking up already that some of us are going to feel a little disconnected, but we'll see what shows up when we pull some cards. I am going to do the 4 elements this week: earth, air, fire, and water. And I am going to start off with an affirmation card. I've been having a lot of fun with these, and I wanted to incorporate them into my readings. So let's go ahead and start with earth signs. And we've got your card here. Today I am calm. Today my mind is open and I am at peace with who I am. Love that. All right, so let's go ahead and start with that. Earth signs: Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's see. Now remember, I don't have a structure for these particular readings just because I just kind of go with whatever intuitively feels right for the reading, for the cards, for whatever shows up. Okay, let's move this over here. Okay, interesting. Looks like something. You get good news this coming week, earth signs, okay? Something where you thought, oh my gosh, I didn't think this was going to be resolved. I didn't think this was going to work out. I didn't think that, things were going to change. But it looks like quite the opposite is showing up for you in the coming week. And I say that because we have that 7 of Swords. Now, the other thing, earth signs, that I am picking up is we have the Ace of Pentacles. So pay attention to what you're doing as it relates to making money this week. I feel like some of you kind of started something and then you're going to have to put it on hold, only because other areas of your life are kind of taking a priority right now. Again, we are moving into Christmas week, so that could be maybe you need to focus on family, travel, the holiday, whatever. But like I said, there is something you're going to have to put on hold temporarily until after the new year. And again, I do feel like this is something money related. It could be something career related, or it could be something, like a side hustle that you maybe started, but you're like, oh no, I can't work on it right now because I've got so many other things coming up. Now, we also have the 9 of Swords, and this is where I was talking about things or people just kind of feeling emotionally disconnected. Now, earth signs, I am picking up that is kind of where we're going here. We're moving in that direction. Now, I do feel like because we are still in the Mercury retrograde, a lot of this could just be a little bit of frustration with things either not working like they're supposed to, or it could just be feeling a little anxious because we're moving into the new year and it's kind of overwhelming because we're not exactly where we thought we would be as it relates to life, money, and all the things. But the thing is, earth signs, is, again, this is only temporary. I feel like this is something that is kind of cyclical in the sense that you are kind of just putting more pressure on yourself than you need to. Or maybe you just had higher expectations about where you would be this time of year, and maybe you haven't met those goals. Let's go ahead and pull some more cards and see what else shows up for you. All right, earth signs. Whoa. Yep. And here we go. Things really do work themselves out by the end of the week. Okay, so like I said, a lot of the stuff is temporary that's going on. But I can tell by the 7 of Pentacles and the 8 of Swords, both in the reverse, like I said, this is only temporary. So here's the thing, earth signs. Do not, prejudge your emotions your energy, maybe even your own perspective or your own judgments, because I feel like you're getting caught up in this emotional stuff. And the thing is you're the only one putting pressure on yourself. Nobody else is. Now, that's really hard for some of us earth signs to deal with, because you know how we are. And I'm speaking to myself here. You know, we tend to kind of really think that we can do really more than what we can, or what we're capable of. So sometimes we tend to pile on the work, or we just take on more things than we should, or we say yes when we should say no. So the Seven of Pentacles says that you are going to have a slowdown as it relates to work, which I think is really good. Again, we are moving into that time of year. You know, Christmas is coming up. A lot of us take time off, or we're on vacation, or whatever the case may be. But we also have the Eight of Swords. That's a beautiful card to see in the reverse, because it talks about you're no longer feeling disconnected, stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, discouraged. As a matter of fact, it's quite the opposite. And that definitely happens by the end of the week. So earth signs, I guess the overall message that I'm picking up from these cards here is that it's okay to acknowledge that you could be feeling emotionally stressed, tapped out, and like I said, disconnected earlier. But you have to understand that it's only temporary, and it's not going to last very long. As a matter of fact, this probably gives you some clarity as it relates to what you want your next steps to be as we move into this new year. It also kind of reassures you that you really just have to trust yourself, and you don't have to put so much pressure on yourself. Now, earth signs, we're always very grounded. We're always very, very solid in our decisions. And sometimes, again, that makes us put more pressure on ourselves than we need to have. But looking at the cards, everything will work out. And like I said, the first card that came out, that Seven of Swords, something gets resolved that you didn't think was going to ever work out, surprisingly in your favor. So this is really good, earth signs. I'm feeling a little bit of relief as I look at these cards, because I was feeling that too. I'm a Virgo, and I was feeling that. I was feeling like, oh my gosh, I got to do this, I got to do that. And then we're into the new year, and now I've got to do this, this, and that. So just relax. Trust the timing of everything, and understand that you are making progress, and you're moving exactly at the speed and at the speed and I guess the timing. The timing is going to work out. As long as you trust, and as long as you just keep moving forward, everything will work out, and the timing definitely is going to be good. As a matter of fact, I think it's going to be better than what you expect. All right, earth signs, let's go ahead and close out your reading with your oracle cards. This is the Star Seed Oracle deck. All right, so let's start with this first one. This is Messenger. Serious energy, bringing harmony and peace. Serious energy, Messenger. Right, so that's something definitely we need to focus on. Something also too, I think that kind of gives us a little bit of relief, like I said earlier. Oh, this is an interesting one. This one says, I'm sorry, defenselessness, righting past wrongs, uprooting. Now, remember, this was the very first card that came out for your weekly reading, earth signs. So it says righting past wrongs. But then it has I'm sorry. So I'm wondering, do we need to initiate something? Do we need to say something? Do we need to make that first move, make that first step? Something to think about, right? And maybe you don't have to actually tell someone I'm sorry. Maybe it's something we just need to do within ourselves, forgive, release. Because doing that also alleviates a lot of stress, disconnectedness, and feeling just a little out of sorts. So Earth signs, I hope this was helpful. You got a lot to think about here for the upcoming week, but like I said, it's all going to turn out good. And if you have those moments feeling a little bit unsteady or feeling a little bit, lost, remember, it's only temporary, okay? And things really will turn around, and things really are working out for your highest good. All right, Earth signs, I hope this was helpful, and I will check in with you again next week. Welcome, air signs. This is your weekly reading for the week of December 22nd through December 28th. And this is air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Now I'm adding a new deck. I've got some affirmation cards here that I've been working with, and I kind of like these. So I wanted to start off your reading, and let's see what your weekly affirmation will be. You got, today I am at peace. Today I am at peace with all that has happened, all that is happening, and all that will happen. Very beautiful, air signs. All right, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, let's go ahead and pull some cards and see what the upcoming week is looking like for you. Now remember, I don't have a structure for the weekly readings. It's just kind of whatever intuitively feels right, and me sharing the messages that come through. Okay. All right. So now, if you remember earlier, I was saying that a lot of us are going to be feeling a little disjointed, maybe even a little bit disconnected this week. And I feel like this is kind of an energy thing because we're still in Mercury retrograde. So things could be a little wonky. Things could be a little bit off. But the other good thing is that this is only temporary. So as long as you remember that you're not going to feel out of sorts forever, you're going to be fine. You're going to be totally fine. Okay? All right, air signs, let's go ahead and get started. We've got the 4 cups here in the reverse. This means that you say no to something. And I feel like this is something you've kind of been planning for a while, because you've been wanting to say no, but you've been hesitating to say no, or maybe you've just been worried about how it's going to be received. Well, this upcoming week, you get the opportunity to really communicate. The answer is no. And that isn't always a negative thing. That's not always a bad thing, because remember, when we say no to something, it frees us up to say yes to something else. It means that we're going to be available for something that maybe we are more interested in, maybe something that we actually want to do. So saying no is definitely going to be something that pops up on your radar this upcoming week. All right, air signs. Now we also have the 5 of Wands. That's a great card to see in the reverse, because that means communication is actually going good. It's not strained. There's no bickering. There's no back and forth. There's no arguing. There's no miscommunication or misunderstandings. As a matter of fact, I think the discussions are very civil and very productive. So remember, you're saying no. The conversations are flowing well. Now we also have the Page of Wands. Now this is some surprising news coming your way this week as it relates to your work or your career. Doesn't mean it's negative, but I do pick up that this is something you didn't see coming or something you didn't expect. Now, it could be something huge, like maybe the company makes an announcement, or maybe just something with a coworker. You know, somebody says something, somebody does something, and it looks like you're going to be pretty surprised on that. Now, you may not find out exactly the details of this until you are actually at your place of work, but it could be maybe you get an email or a text or a phone call about something while you're at home, but it is work related. Again, I am picking up that this is something that does surprise you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's something negative. So this is one of those things where you just got to kind of roll with it and just make sure, you know, that you've got everything in place and that you are, I guess, confident in what you're doing and, you know, what your position is. Because some of us, I know, we don't work, a job, or we have a business, or maybe we're retired or a student. But I do believe that there is something that will surprise you this week. But again, as long as you're confident and you are, feeling really good about your position as it relates to whatever it is, you have nothing to worry about, okay? And this is nothing against you. But like I said, I do believe this is something that's going to be surprising and something that you did not really expect. All right, next up we do have the Queen of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. Now, the Queen of Pentacles, whenever I see her in the reverse, usually that's a timing issue as it relates to something investment related. Because remember, the Queen of Pentacles does not take any unnecessary risk. But now when I say investment related, it doesn't always mean financials. Maybe you were considering investing in a course, or maybe you were considering investing in a coach or a mentor or something like that. This card says that this week, hold off on making that decision and hold off on committing to anything, especially if there is a financial investment involved, right? So, paying for the course or paying for the coach or whatever the case may be. So this week, if you can kind of, push out that decision a little bit longer, or maybe just hold off and see what happens in the next month or the new year before you commit any money to it. Not that you wouldn't be able to get a refund or something like that, but I do feel like there's going to be something that is going to be a better fit for you coming up, and I think you want to make sure that you are available for that. So that could be the thing here that we talked about, of you saying no to something because you want to be, I guess, in the financial position to say yes to something else. Next up, we do have the Two of Cups. Now, the Two of Cups in the reverse talks about a divine separation. Again, this is not ugly, negative, nasty, nothing like that. But I do believe that you could be moving or pivoting as it relates to a relationship. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it's romantic. It could be a friendship. It could be maybe just kind of distancing yourself from someone in your family. I do feel like it's something like that. It's not romantic. I feel like maybe you've outgrown a friendship. All right, air signs, or maybe you have, not that you don't love someone, but it's just that maybe you just limit how much time you spend with them, or how frequently you talk with this person. Because I do feel like you're pivoting, in your life as you move into the new year. You're making decisions about where you want to spend your time, who you want to spend your time with, and that you just are on the path of growth, and you do not want to exchange energy with anyone who is not kind of in that same vibe. All right, air signs. So again, I feel like this is progress, and this is you moving forward. I also feel like this is something, you've been considering for a while, and you finally have, committed to say, hey, I need to move in a different direction, or I need to move a different way. And so you get some clarity on that by the end of this upcoming week. All right, air signs, let's go ahead and pull your oracle cards and see what we've got going on. This is the Star Seed Oracle deck. It's a beautiful deck. All right, so the first card you got is Your Life is a Canvas. Artist, manifestation, creative accountability. Wow. Now, this definitely is tapping into your creative energy as we move into this upcoming week, air signs. Manifestation, that's the word that's really popping out. Really put it out there. What are you trying to attract? What do you want to experience? What do you want to have, be, or do? Because energetically, things are really on your side. Things are really in your favor this upcoming week. I do believe that you will be in alignment with whatever it is that you want to have. So make sure you get clear on it, because it will show up. All right, next we got Lifting the Veil for you. Questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. Wow. We were just talking about that with this Two of Cups in the reverse. Remember, it's about graciously separating from something that no longer serves you and having no hesitation, regrets, or guilty feelings about it. Anything unaligned must go. All right, air signs, you've got a lot to think about this upcoming week, but it's all going to be good. Looks like things are just kind of rolling out in your favor. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. Have a beautiful and Merry Christmas, and I'll check in with you again next week. Hello, fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is your weekly tarot forecast for the week of December 22nd to December 28th. I do have some affirmation cards, and I've been working with these for a little while, so I thought I would add them into the readings this week. Let's see what the affirmation is for fire signs for the upcoming week. Ooh, okay. Today I will express myself. Today I will express my feelings openly and honestly by writing them down and reading them aloud. You know, this is huge. This is huge for some people because not everybody has the courage to express themselves. You know, a lot of us fear judgment, or we fear ridicule, criticism. And I really like that this says, write them down and then read them out loud. You know, you don't have to share it with anyone. I think that's good. Something I'm even going to do. All right, fire signs. Let's go ahead and see what you need to know for the upcoming week. Whoa. All right, so okay, so you've got a little bit more cards here than what I was expecting, but that's okay. We will go with it. All right, fire signs. So we've got that Queen of Wands. This is delayed plans. I feel like there's a delay coming up in something, and it's something that involved movement. Okay, so could be delayed in literally a move for some of you. It could also be a delay in maybe some of you ordered something. That's what I'm picking up. Could be some, but it's something big though, like furniture, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you paid for a vacation or a trip, something like that. But there's definitely a delay this upcoming week on something. Next up, we got that Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is the start of a brand new relationship. Now, it doesn't always mean that it is personal or romantic. It could be a relationship with a company, like some of you accepting, you know, a new job or a new position. It could also be a relationship maybe with something I feel like you've been ignoring for a while. Maybe a certain side of yourself, maybe a hobby gets, you know, reawakened, or, you know, something like that where you're like, oh, I used to do this years ago and then I stopped and now I want to take it up again. That's what I feel like. It's like a reinvigorating of a relationship, or, you know, reawakening of something that you once loved, that now you have an opportunity to embrace it again. Now, this could be a relationship. It could be for some of you, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. So I just want you to stay open when you have the opportunity that will show up this week for you to reestablish a relationship with someone or something that brings you joy or brought you joy at one point in time. Next, we've got the Judgment card. Oh, that's a really powerful card because that's a card that talks about self-investment, also personal development, self-improvement, all those things. Now, the thing about the Judgment card too is that it really talks about you putting yourself in a position for change, for changing for the better. Now, fire signs, I think this is something you've been considering for a while, but now you're actually ready to take action on it. This upcoming week, you're going to have an opportunity or the time to really think about how you're going to invest in yourself and really, establish your own plan for your personal growth. This is exciting because I do feel like this is something that really will be a turning point, not only in your life as it relates to your personal life, but also, your career, your spiritual life, maybe even, your mental health as well, because sometimes we really need to, I think a lot of the mental healing requires us to really take care of ourselves. And sometimes we're just not in a position to do that, for whatever reason. We've got obligations, maybe money, maybe we just have to put our focus elsewhere for the time being. But it looks like you will have an opportunity this week to really focus on you. All right, fire signs. Now we also have the Three of Cups. This is a celebration happening. Not surprising, we are in the week of Christmas. So it looks like you're going to be gathering with friends, families, people you enjoy. And it looks like it's going to be a really good time. So that's definitely a blessing. Next up, we got the Knight of Pentacles, and then we also have the Page of Cups. Now, this is some really good news. Somebody's making an offer. The Knight of Pentacles means that there's some money that you were expecting to get, and either you don't get what you thought you were going to get, or the money is, I'm feeling like there's a delay. I'm picking up delays with these two cards. So someone says, hey, here's the money. However, I can't give you the whole thing until next week or something like that. But the thing is like the money is coming, but I do feel like there's a delay, or there's like a partial energy here, where someone says, hey, I know I owe you $200, here's $100, and I'll give you the other $100 next week, something like that. So the money, or whatever it is, the credit is coming. Like I said, it'll either be less than what you're expecting, or it will be, broken up like I just talked about, or it will be delayed in some way, where someone says, yes, I know I owe you, or I know, you won the prize, but we can't, deliver it to you until next week or something like that. We also have that Page of Cups. That's always a good card, because the Page of Cups talks about an offer coming your way. And this is something that really sets your heart and your soul on fire. Could be a job for some of you. All right, fire signs. It could also be just somebody giving you something that you love and that you embrace, right? Again, because we are in the week of Christmas, I'm not surprised to see that card show up. All right, so you've got a lot of interesting things happening this week, fire signs. Delays, new connections, and then that Judgment card. Like I said, investing in yourself, investing in your personal growth in some way. All right, fire signs, let's go ahead and pull a couple of oracle cards for you. All right, so the first card you got is Big Picture Thinking. I can never pronounce this. I want to say, is it Pleiades energy? Visionary, inspired ideas. Yeah, so basically thinking outside the box. And I think a lot of us are doing that. We're becoming our own visionaries for 2024. We're really kind of expanding what we believe is possible for us. And I do believe, fire signs, that this is something that you've had in the works for a while. All of these things are finally coming to the surface, or they're finally coming to fruition. Plans are, being put in place, decisions are being made, and really just having a big goal. And it could even be something that's a little unnerving, but at the same time, really exciting. Next up, we got karmic relationships. Wow. Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict. Now, karmic relationships. Now, this doesn't always mean it's a relationship with another person or another soul. However, it could be. But sometimes karmic relationships show up in situations and circumstances and experiences. So this is something where you really just have to pay attention to the details and pay attention to the energy and how you feel. Sometimes karmic relationships make sense, sometimes they don't. But there's always a lesson to be learned here. And there's always a higher level of awareness when we understand that that's the experience that we're having, or that's the relationship, or that's the connection that we're currently going through. So again, when it comes to karmic relationships, pay attention to the details and pay attention to how you feel, because that is where you will get clarity and understanding. And then some karmic relationships are not meant to be forever. So it's more of a, like the card says, soul growth. But I also feel too, there's a level of understanding that you probably would not get any other way than through this karmic relationship or karmic experience. So something to think about, fire signs. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Have a blessed and Merry Christmas, and I'll check in with you again next week. Hello, water signs. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is your weekly tarot forecast for the week of December 22nd to December 28th. Now we're going to start off with some affirmation cards. I've been having a lot of fun with these and I really like them. So let's go ahead and pull an affirmation card for you for this coming week. Ooh, okay, so we got today I will not be critical. Today I will not be critical of my appearance or actions. I am perfect the way I am. Wow, water signs. This is a very powerful affirmation, and I think a lot of us struggle with being so critical of ourselves. So, remember this affirmation as we move through this week. All right, water signs, let's go ahead and get right into your reading. And remember, I don't have any type of structure as it relates to these readings. I just kind of do what intuitively feels right. All right, so what do we need to know for water signs for this upcoming week? All right, a little bit more cards, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, water signs, water, water, water. Now, look, you've got the Divine Feminine cards there. They're in the reverse, which tells me that this week you're heavy into your masculine energy. Now, this doesn't have anything to do with gender, but this does have everything to do with the energies and sometimes the polarities or the opposites of the masculine and the feminine. When I see two of these Divine Feminine cards in the reverse, that tells me that you're very heavy in your masculine energy this upcoming week. Now, sometimes that's a necessity. Sometimes that's very important because we got to get things done. Things need structure. Things need power behind them. There's also, I'm feeling like a very driven and a very aggressive energy this upcoming week, especially because we've got that Ten of Wands. Now, the Ten of Wands talks about taking on a lot. Now, because we are in the week of Christmas, I'm not surprised, all right, water signs? It looks like you're trying to do a lot of things this week. You're taking on more, you're making more decisions, and you're really just trying to implement plans that you put in place earlier this year. And so there's not really a whole lot of time or energy left for the creative feminine to really flow. Now, this is definitely something that's normal, something that I do believe is cyclical. Sometimes our dominant energy is the masculine, and other times our dominant energy is the feminine. Understand that there is a balance to some degree, but again, depending on what we're doing, the circumstances we're in, sometimes one particular energy will dominate. And like I said, I do believe the masculine is going to be the dominating energy for you this week, water signs. Now, what does that mean as it relates to the big picture here? Well, again, it's making decisions and trusting the timing of everything. And that's not always easy to do. We've got that star card in the reverse. And when I see that card in the reverse, it means that sometimes we're neglecting our own needs because we feel like other things at the time are more important. So, like I said, because you're doing all the things here in the masculine, there's going to be parts of you that are going to be neglected. Again, this is not something that you really have to worry about, but it's something that you have to understand and accept, because you're making the choice. And because you're making the choice to get all the things done, understand that there's parts of you that will feel a little tapped out. Parts of you will feel a little disconnected. Because the Two of Swords talks about you making the choice. You really deciding, consciously, this is what I want to do. This is what I need to do. This is the experience that I'm determined to have. Now, the good thing is we have that Queen of Pentacles, right? So that's another feminine energy card. Although she's not as strong as the High Priestess or the Empress, she's still very powerful in her own right. Now, this tells us that she does show up eventually, that the masculine is not going to be the ruling energy, permanently. You will be flowing in and out of your feminine energy, as we move throughout the week. Now, the other aspect of this Queen of Pentacles card is that, this is about making decisions as it relates to investments that will serve you later on. So it may be time for you to invest in a course, or maybe invest in a trainer or a coach or a mentor or something that's going to help your own, self-development, self-improvement, personal growth. But again, I do feel like you're kind of going to be on all systems go this week. And again, this is not anything bad, because I do believe that sometimes that is where we see the biggest growth and the biggest progress. So don't be afraid of allowing your masculine energy to really run the show, even temporarily. It's okay. A lot of times it's how things get done, but the thing is you just have to be careful that you don't burn yourself out. And again, remember, this is not gender specific. All of us have aspects of the masculine and all of us have aspects of the feminine, and it has nothing to do with how you identify yourself either. It's all about the choices you make and the awareness you have behind those choices. Okay, so what I am picking up is that this is going to be a very productive week for you. All right, water signs, you're going to get a lot done. Now, the thing is like I said, it may be heavy, it may be a little stressful, but when all is said and done, you're definitely going to create an experience or a result that you are very proud of. And that is outstanding. Okay, so just know that what you're doing is working and you are producing the results that you are definitely going to be happy about. All right, water signs, let's go ahead and pull a couple of oracle cards for you. I'm feeling these two right here. This is the Starseed Oracle deck. Haven't used it in a while, but I was drawn to it today. All right, let's see what we got. So we got the fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Oh my gosh, that's literally what we were talking about when we talked about aspects of the masculine and the feminine, right? So it's holding the opposites and it's the extremes. So like I said, you're going to be more into your masculine energy this week. But again, that's not a bad thing. Sometimes it's what we need to do in order to get things done. And we surrender to that, right? We know, hey, this is how it has to be, at least for now. Doesn't mean it's going to be that way forever. So we surrender to the expectation or the position that we have to take. Next up, we got Star Brothers, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust. all of those are aspects of, I want to say, like the word building is coming to mind as I look at this card, like building, you know, like putting, you know, pieces in place and putting things together, you know, structuring something in a way that gives it stability, makes it solid, makes it strong. So, and it's interesting because we got star brothers here. Brothers as in the masculine. So, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust. There's definitely a deep, like I said, a deep, strong foundation when I look at these words. And I think it's good. Protection too. All right, so water signs, let me know your thoughts. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope it was helpful for you. And I hope you have a beautiful, blessed Christmas. And I'll check in with you again next week. Thanks so much for watching.